And we don't know when the election will be, but it will be sometimes after I'm elected. And whether I'm elected or not, I will still support PC Milne for police chief with PC Graham, PC Willis from 52 Division, Trevor Searles from 52 Division. And Trevor has never arrested me, but I think that was because I went to school with him. Okay? So far we've got a large group of men who are standing up and they're enforcing the law as it's written. So they're not saying they want to be police chief. What they're doing is doing their job as the job is entailed, and that's why I support them for police chief, because they don't go out to seek their own glory, they go out to enforce the law as it's written. But now I gotta get back to work because I have one more sidewalk to do. So I think our best bet is to do. Have a great day. Yeah. So one love, and God bless PC Milne.
What about Wayne Alexander?
Oh my God! He has to go to training school. Send him to training school, not residential school. In my opinion, we should seek all those in residential school, and we should send Alexander. No, don't send him out to investigate because we'll never find him. Okay, I'm telling you. But God bless.
Steve married to Elizabeth.
Yes, you guys be good. Trust in the Lord.
We're having a menage a trois on our taxes.
God bless the child. Where can I get water? I need a little cup of water.
I don't know.
The only other place I think I can get water is I probably have to just go to the bathroom, right? But back to what I was saying about that church. And there was a pregnant woman, there was a recovering drug addict, and there was a homeless man. And that's where they normally sleep. They normally sleep between the foyer of the church. And their concierge, I believe his name was Callender or Allender, he comes out. And his first thing is to kick them out. And it was pouring rain outside. So for a church, the church's main concern would have been seeing that these people are not hungry, that they're not cold, and that they're not thirsty. And no church in their right mind who can say that they're a legitimate service to God would kick these people out in the rain. When you kick them out in the rain and their clothes get soaking wet, if you're going to kick them out in the rain, then you give them a black garbage bag. And you say, why give them a black garbage bag? You give them a black garbage bag with dry clothes in them. So when they get wherever they want to get, when they're totally soaking wet, then they can change their clothes when they get inside. This church does not do it. And that leads me to where I came up with the fact that for us to deal with social decay, for us to deal with poverty, for us to deal with violence, for us to deal with housing, we must demand that the churches fulfill their obligation as to why they were given tax rebates. If you're going to get free land, if you're going to get free tax breaks, and if you're going to get extra rights in this country, then you must see that you give the right to others who don't have the same opportunity. And St. Jamestown has been very negligent in doing that. But we have the same problem with St. Mike's Cathedral. We have the same problem with the the Malvern Christian Assembly. Same problems we have with those. Why do we have so much problems of abuse in the churches? Why? Because we don't stand up and demand that we stop that abuse. But I got to move on because I got to get water. I got to do one on the side. But before we go, I'm going to take you down here. I'm going to let you meet one of my great friends too. Hey, girl. So anyway, can get a glass of water off you, please?
A glass of water?
Yeah, even dirty water. I just need it for this bucket. Not bad place. Now you can see. Now this, if this was a church and I'd asked for that, I probably wouldn't have gotten water. All right? I probably would have gotten them calling the police on me. So
this is St. Louis?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, you know St. Louis?
Great wings.
Yeah. So it shows that it's not only great wings, it's showing that it's great people. That's water. And this the lady give it. This
well, there's your water for you.
Yes, I'll give you a glass. This is the Toronto I wish to build. Toronto where people look out for our needs. Yeah. But I gotta find drywall. That's my biggest enemy. If I can't find drywall, my campaign is shut. Right.
Really?
Yeah. Drywall is the key. Remember, I'm a former homeless man. What does drywall mean? Drywall is what I was missing to keep me warm. Right? So now we're going to send a message to the people to keep them warm. Use drywall. This is where I've slept. I've slept here for years. You know, this crate here, and the thing with this crate here, this crate you can see the heat in it, right? But when it snows, it's the worst thing. People come by and they give you all sorts of money. But when they're giving you all sorts of money, what you needed was something to keep the steam down, right? Or you needed dry garments. So we got to start thinking more about what we're given to. Not why we're given, what we're given to. What we're given to. Why are we given to the people? Well, we're given so we can gain the blessing. But when we give is what is needed. We should always be looking out for the needs of the people rather than the wants of us giving. Oh, my buddy. I don't put Sean's on today, yeah. You know what this guy did? This guy attacked me once with one of them steel bats because he was running down the street. That guy did. Attacked me, left me bloody in the street. And when I called the cops didn't go and look for him. Why? Because that's what they call homeless on homeless crime. Hey, Big Trouble. Is Sean working today?
No, he's off today.
He's off?
Yeah.
Must be his only day off. Or what do you think of Sean?
He's a great guy.
Great guy, eh?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. He's a daddy too?
Yeah.
So this is the king at the hotel. This is where I met one of my greatest friends, Sean. Sean's not working today. But whenever I'm out in the streets, whenever I'm in need, I can always count on Sean. And if you take a look at the uniform, he's a doorman just like this man. And you notice, like these, you see, for example, this man don't come and tell you, get away from the front of the place. No, there's no abuse of authority. And that's how we make friends and that's how we unite together. Stop the abuse of our authority. Power without self-control is a dangerous tool. Now we got water and we're going to go do the other side of the street. Now people say, well, Kevin Clarke, what have you learned from abuse of authority? I learned from abuse of authority that I should not abuse my authority. So I have the authority to speak out loud for people and people will listen, right? But I must also give the respect to them, those who are in this form, and let them have their opportunity to speak too. So as my brother said to me this morning, right? Yes, Kevin, I know, but when you go out there today, make sure you give others the opportunity to speak. Because remember, someone who speaks a lot but is not heard is somebody who has said nothing. And that's what it comes down to. Girls, do you think I'm hot?
Sure.
Of course, because I'm wearing a sweater. Guys, do you think I'm hot? Well, I'm wearing a sweater. You should say yes. They see words, right? Like to say, people always go off and they argue about words, right? But remember, words have never harmed anyone unless they're spoken maliciously. I can say, hey, you look nice, very girl. But if I'd gone and made a comment that would be demeaning, then that would not be proper. You know? Come on, guys, go up to church in Wellesley. It's the boys' weekend now. This is a time where the boys can go out and have sex with no women around. Hey, Gran, what's up? Are you a Roman? Is he a Roman? Love those slippers. People are people. This morning when I started, I only had like 2. This we can't view because my opponent's here about this. They'll try to pass bylaws to stop chocolate from the sidewalk. Even when I did it Young and Dundas, they had a chalk police out. They had an ambulance that said, hey, there you go. There's the next mayor of Toronto right there. That woman is holding that next mayor up high. God bless the child. That's what it's all about. Kids, be good. All right, fasten your seatbelt. I'm going to take the Queen to pray. Now, before we're done, make sure you save some space because we got to take you over to one of the key routes of my campaign. Robert Gourlay. People don't know who Robert Gourlay is, but my life and what I've been through has been emphasized by a man who's been through it generations before I did, Robert Gourlay. And Robert Gourlay is one of my inspirations, right? And once they finish over here, like I wanted to go over, but we can't go over. Now, we talked about that's a child. We talked about charter of rights, okay? Now the Queen is here. You're gonna have a function. Now what you needed to do was have the Queen show up in a car where you don't have no big press and no little thing. And then you should have the Queen just go ahead and do her worship. But take a look at this. This is an hindrance to all the people. Now you're saying it's the Queen. Does the Queen have more rights than anyone else? So So the Queen does not have the right to impede anyone else's right of way.